Hello everybody, welcome. So I have started a fresh game. I'm going to show you today how to make effective templates, division templates, and also how to make them gradually, step by step, so you won't clog your production and everything else. And I'm going to mention a few things how to keep larger armies moving. So let's say we are invading through here and we're in a major war, so we don't want our crew to stop because of the supplies, lack of weapon, or so on. So I'm going to show you a few things that are very important for that, which especially newer players don't understand in this game. So let's start with two basic stuff. For the offensive, three basic stuff. We need manpower, we need guns, so depending what are you moving, and we need of course organization and supplies. Now, first thing I'm going to talk to you is gear. So in order to keep any division moving, let's say we want to make division, so our basic division here we're going to put some equipment next to them, but this equipment we need to produce. Here is what you need from manpower, support equipment we need for this division, infantry equipment, 12 pieces of artillery, and so on. So now we have to produce this for this division, these numbers here. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into the production tab and we're gonna open, let's say we want to make armor cars. So you can do this basically for everything. You can just make it, but at any time you can do this and just change it. Now what we want, our car to have, at my opinion, minimum 100 reliability. This means that this car won't break up during the training, moving over your troops. This is very important. So this will save you a lot of equipment if you have reliability 100%. 95 to 100 is for all equipment I use, even if I have a little lower stats. So in the multiplayer maybe you can use with this, but in single player or long-term runs I suggest this to be 100%. Rest of the stats are important, but for any equipment this is maybe most important at my opinion, because it will again save you a lot of resources, especially if you're a smaller country and don't have much to produce. So here you can basically edit almost anything and increase its reliability, so when it gets to the troops it won't break up. So this is the first step. Now here you can open and see hover over an equipment. As you see, this equipment has 90% reliability, 80%. So basically what we want to do is at the start of the game go into the production tab and edit all of this equipment, including tanks and everything. So when I'm making a tank, I'm going to talk a little bit about this, what are effective tanks later, but let's say we're making tank. This is one of the most important, because if it breaks all the time like this tank is trash and it won't serve many purposes, because your division won't be fighting all the time. Majority of the time they will be moving, regrouping or whatever, so you will be losing a lot of tanks for not fighting. Now, once that is settled, next thing you want to do is make your divisions. So I'm going to show you a few effective divisions. First thing, second thing, majority of people new to this game don't understand. This and supplies are all the things you need to effectively win this game. So even if your production is clogged, if you have good division templates and you have enough supplies, you can go far away. For start, you will be presented with few divisions like this. Now let's make basic division. So this is division. You will have a majority, let's say half of your army or even more of these guys will be this division. Here you can change an icon, you can put whatever you like. Keep default system. You can change the name of division, but now the more troopers you add, you see their stats. So every trooper you add here will add defense, will add some breakthrough, soft attack, blah blah blah. So, but important thing is to understand, if you add equipment here, not infantry but equipment, let's say we're adding artillery. So when we add this piece of artillery, as you can see here, now we're using only 12 pieces of artillery because, just a second, we have one here. So this one uses, as you can see, 300 manpower and 10 pieces of artillery, but this is a battalion. But you can add it here also. I'm sorry. But this one adds, as you can see, 36 pieces of artillery, but it has greater bonuses for the whole division. Now, what we want to do, we want to make cheap division for start. Cheap division that won't attack, that will only defend. Now, first thing I would suggest you to use is engineer companies. Now, these guys give a little bit of everything, but they give entrenchment bonus, which is amazing, especially for defensive troop. And as you can see, they give different kind of bonuses on different kind of terrains. And also, besides that, I wouldn't add this. I would add anti-air. So this is how I would make my basic division. So these guys would hold your line. If you're high on manpower, I would eventually do this. And this would be my basic division. Now, what people need to understand, this division will gradually, as the year pass, just give me a second, we don't have experience to save this, so let's save it. So this is our basic division. Now this division will evolve through the years. So now we're looking for the cheapest division. As you can see, it is very cheap. I would make it, as I said, like this at the start, because it's 36 here. Maybe if you're a poorer country, kick out the anti-air support. Now, this division basically don't suck up a lot of resources, very little anti-air, and maybe instead of this you can get artillery if you are lacking a soft attack. But these guys are basically for holding the line, so you put a few of them where you expect your defense to be. Now, this crew, over time, as your production grows and you are producing more equipment, you can at any time come here and edit your, we're gonna call it defensive division. You can edit your defensive division. So next step for me would be like this. I would add one more artillery, and also you can add, let's see, we don't have researched everything, but basically I would enlarge it like this and add maybe one more piece of artillery or some support, like flame tanks are not bad. Also maybe logistic, they don't move, they don't need logistic. This would be it. Maybe I would add one more here, but basically this is, the cheaper you have these guys, the better. You will need a lot of these guys. So as you have expanded your production, you have added few of these guys, and you have added few battalions here. Now these guys need a soft attack, or obviously defense, and every unit requires, the higher organization the better. So this is one of your primary stats too. The higher organization, the more you will be in combat. So when you break someone's organization, they start retreating and they start losing troops and they start losing equipment and so on. So you don't want your organization to break before your enemy. This stat is one of the most important. And you have to have supplies for this division also, for it to be effective. And this here is, if you add to your division's armored car tanks, you will increase its hardness. And the bigger the hardness is, the fewer losses you will have. It works similar, let's say, to the defense. But keep in mind, you don't need these things on the purely defensive division. So this is basically, let's say, our later on advanced division. So I would start maybe like this for basic division and lose these guys. For advanced, I would add these guys and 2 more battalions. Now, next thing we want to make, let's duplicate this division. Now, next thing we want to make some kind of, I am making usually one mix unit. Not all of people you do this, but I like it, I don't know. So we're gonna call this elite division. So here, these guys will be basically upgraded frontliners, but they will have some offensive capabilities. So I'm using a big squadron like this here. I would add here one of these guys, maybe add, let's see, anti-air definitely thing. So these guys can keep this or don't have. I would keep them because they are mixed unit. Many people don't like producing this, but they are very effective in some cases, and especially in some regions. I will show you later on. I would also add to these guys more firepower, and I will add to these guys for start cavalry, because this will speed us up and also will give us bonuses on certain terrainians. As you can see, we have defense, we have movement, and so on. So this is very useful division, and this division only uses supplies. So for the start we will use this. After that we can go to some better, but this is better variant of it, but it costs armor cars. So for start we're gonna use cavalry. As I said, we're gonna expand it slowly. Every division evolves to the time, and we're gonna make ourselves one more division. So here it is. So this division will be mixed. I'm having here, let's say, basic divisions, and among these divisions I will put here one, here one, here one, here one. So these new divisions have good defending capabilities and also have very good offensive capabilities, because we have added cannon here, which will add us a lot of soft attack. So you can add 2 cannons, you can add multiple. Also these guys can carry maintenance company, which is very good. Whatever people say, you will capture some equipment from it and you will have other bonuses. Now what we want to make, next thing we want to make is one more division. So this will be our shock division. Now this division is acting, let's say, similar to the tanks. They are for breaking enemy lines. So here what we want to do is have massive soft attack, and we want to have a breakthrough. So on this division, to increase its breakthrough, this is one of the most important stats when you're attacking. So we want this number as high as we can. We're gonna add 1 tank, and we're gonna add a light tank. Now as you can see, there are differences how much breakthrough rises, as you can see, but as you can see, between heavy and light there is not much of big difference, but in production difference can be, light tank can be 5 times cheaper than heavy tank, and it produces much faster. So we're gonna add 1 light tank. So you can see we have drastically increased. You can add 2 light tanks, you can make some kind of mix. So this is our shock division. These guys will basically go for the breaking, everybody else will follow them. They will be supporting our tank divisions and so on. Okay, so we have made these guys. You need only few of them where you want to punch through. They are very good at this. Now as for panzer divisions, I like to keep them small like this. People make a lot of stuff, but I like to keep them small, mobile. So we're gonna kick out majority of this stuff. We're gonna add leave 2 of these divisions because we need organization to be high. If we kick them up, we'll be more mobile, but organization is, as I said, and this organization is very bad, so we're gonna add a little bit differently. Of course, we don't have bonuses, nothing research, this will be increased later, but we want to increase it now, so we can add for start. You see our organization has risen. Now you can make it with a different kind of infantry or whatever, but this is important to raise it over 30 at least. Let's say I like using 2 light tanks, 1 medium, 1 heavy tank. In the start maybe use all light tanks, so this would be our start division. And let's see here, we don't need engineers, we're gonna remove them. We're gonna put, this is a must have. Also maintenance company, we have done not in research all. That's division 10. Let's just give me a second, we're gonna do it right away. Research. Okay, now we have everything. Now we can discuss it a little bit better. So There are also flame tanks and so on, but that will be something else. So this is a trash. Never take this. Under any circumstances, this is the biggest trash on game. Waste of supplies heavily. This is one of the most useful units for long offensive. So in later game, I add this almost to any unit. It has this as a battalion. Also, this is something. This saves you supplies, saves you fuel, saves you a lot of things. This is also very, very good company because it allows you to capture enemy equipment, and they're amazing, simply. Now, this is a must-have for tanks. Adds breakthrough and adds initiative. So this is for, you can add it to offensive units. So we can, like, we made shock troopers are offensive unit. Here we are missing one slot. We're gonna add signal company. And here, where we make tanks, we're gonna add signal company. And we can add logistic company. This is something we must have. We're gonna put maintenance company, and we're gonna put logistic company. So this is basically advanced division. I use them like this. Little more, maybe infantry. I try to keep this organization up, but this is basically the tank division you need. You need it to be small, at my opinion, to punch through. It doesn't look at its hardness. It doesn't have to have a lot of tanks in it. You can make larger, they are effective, but they can get stuck. You can lose much equipment with it, a lot of bad stuff. This is mobile, small punch through unit. You combine them with your shock troopers. Now, few more things. We have divisions like motorized divisions. This is basically infantry, but you were gonna add, just a second, we're gonna add a few things here, like artillery, and we're gonna add 2 artillery pieces here, and we're gonna enlarge it. These guys we don't need. We're gonna take logistics. So we're gonna take this. This stays. Logistic company maintenance. Okay. Okay, this is how I would make it. Maybe a little bit more, but this is your late game. Again, I'm saying when you start, you will start with smaller number of these units. You can put only 1 artillery, or you can lose some of this, and over the time you upgrade your divisions. You upgrade the divisions as your production rise. But this is a relatively late game unit. Now, these guys will be useful in certain cases. So again, we mix them with our division, and when we punch somewhere with our shock units and our tanks, these guys are here to exploit. They move very fast, and you can move them like this. So let's say we have punch through here. We can move them like this, and they have quite good offensive capabilities. And we can, let's say they are holding line over this. They're holding line, and we break them here. We put our 1 or 2 motorized divisions, drop them like this, and hit them here from the behind. Also, this unit can move to assist it, and when we break it, we have encircled a large amount of enemies with just 1 or 2 motorized divisions. Now, after them, you can exploit and move if you have additional troops to block them, but generally these guys are amazing for that. Okay, let's move on. You also have divisions like paratroopers, mountaineers, and so on. They are basically the infantry division, but meant to fight on different kind of terrains. From all of them, I use naval troops are useful, especially for fighting in these kind of environments, or for naval evasions. They are excellent for naval evasions. Paratroopers, you can use them like when we're breaking into some country. Let's say, these are bad examples. Okay, this can be good. So we are planning to invade England. We can drop a few of them and capture some of their strategical places like airports and such, and force them to move some of their aviation away from us. And also you can capture some cities where it will be easier for you to land your troops from the mainland, depending on how much infantry and everything you have prepared. And we have mountaineers, which are, at my opinion, one of the most useful units from all of these, because if you're playing like Germany, you can expand over Europe, but later on I tend before the war to expand on this region here, and maybe even come to here, but places like Iraq, Afghanistan, okay, Iraq not so much, but Turkey, Iran, Afghanistan, big part of the India, Tibet, big part of China, big part of Russia are on the mountains, and the main offensive division I'm moving in this direction will contain at least half of mountain divisions. So from, let's say, 24 divisions general is carrying, my half will be mountain divisions, and I maybe wouldn't even pull tanks as my main offensive army, because tanks are horrible versus mountain terrains, so keep that in mind. But light tanks are very useful at hills, so keep that also in mind as far as for the bonuses. And that is basically everything you need from to make effective infantry templates. So you need few of them. I could add more and more and more, but these are generally your basic templates. And one more I forget, this is very important. We're gonna lose all of these guys. Where is military police? Here it is. This is gonna be our garrison unit. So this unit will go in every garrison. Trust me, it is all you need. I will explain in additional video. It is a broader subject, but all you need is this. And when you're making this division, let's say, more advanced, so this is the way not to lose on suppressing rebels in every country and everything, not to lose many troops and not to lose many manpower. So you make small division like this, it is all you need. You add military police, and later on, if you have resources, I would do this, because this is has much higher hardness than horses, and you will lose even fewer of these troops. And in the late game, you see here, and in the late game, if you have really enough resources and production, you can do this. This is even better option, as you can see, and you will lose very few gear. So it is important to have a high reliability for your gear that you are supplying to your army, and to have low losses on let's say suppression and such thing, and your factories, you will see, will start producing much more. Now when you're making divisions, make sure you have here, as you can see, we are lacking 7.5k of infantry equipment. So try not to do this. Try to, at the start of the game, stabilize your production. So this is basically the amount we are giving, approximately amount we are getting of this type of equipment per day or per week. No, sorry. Yes, this is per day. Here you can see your weekly production also. And this number will change depending. So at the moment, let's say I'm putting some division on the ground and they're training, they're pulling equipment from our storage. But once they're filled, your production, so minimize your at the end, at the beginning of the game. 3 things you need to do in order to get your economy functioning good, besides making a lot of factories. When you're making divisions, make it simple, make it a little bit smaller, make it most effective cost, especially early on. So we're making basic defensive division. This is it, cheap as it gets. Only everything else you add, as you can see, will increase our number of the guns we need and everything else. Keep your reliability for your equipment, if you can, 100%. It is very important. So everything we are making, we don't want it to break. It is waste of resources. So let's say this tank, let's see it. So this tank has reliability 90, so we're gonna increase it. It doesn't matter how, we need to increase it. Let's see, special modules. Here it is, 15%. Excellent. I can add, let's say, a little more armor, a little more speed, whatever. Armor is preferable for the tanks, but okay, tanks main is uh, piercing, hard attack, and breakthrough. Three main stats for your tank. So this is now 100%, and I'm gonna swap it with this one, which has a reliability of, I don't know, 80, 60, whatever. Now, you can also do this. Now, where it is tanks? As you can see, we have a few models, and we can start. The new one will be here. We can start also converting tanks when we're producing, so we can convert old tank to new tank. Where's production? Okay, so when you click here, all the older models will be converted to this model, and it will be much cheaper, and you will get bigger number of tanks. As you can see, I'm getting 2 per day. Like this, I'm getting 5 per week. So keep everything at the minimum and gradually increase your divisions. Gradually, once again, step by step, over every 6 months or whatever, add 1 battalion, add few units, don't rush. And you will see, once you get able to get grasp of your economy and how you produce your equipment, everything else will be fall in place pretty easily. All you have to remember is to make a few different templates. I would suggest you to experiment, mix a little bit, but remember, you need few infantry templates. This is the backbone of your army. You need few shock units. This is the units which will make breakthrough, punch through enemy lines. Like I made shock divisions, even motorized divisions can be made. There are a lot of combinations you can make. And the rest are like this one, are support for certain areas. It doesn't matter where it is mountains, where it is rivers. And one advice more, so keep in mind, always keep in mind supplies. So this is one of the things that clogs people. So this area here, generally, or when you go to Africa, you'll have a lot of trouble invading and supply, and in order to get supplies to there, you have to build a railroad, and you have to build a supply depot. So you have to go here, and let's say I want to make supply depot here. I click on some tile where there is railroad, and I make a railroad to wherever, and then I have to put, as you can see, it can start producing. Now this goes fast, railroads are produced fast, but this thing cost 20k resources and production cost, sorry, and builds so slow. As you can see, with 11 factories, okay, let's max it with how many? With 15 factories, it would take it till July to make, so it is so slow. So in some areas it is much more effective to send fewer troops that are specialized, like mountaineers and so, than to carry large divisions. So stop when the supplies, let's say we are here, and this borderline cannot sustain supplies for your big division, for your army. Move half of the divisions back somewhere and leave fewer troops, and let them refill their supplies and attack with fewer troops. Go easier and make few specialist troops for, let's say, this direction we're going here. Majority of the terrain are mountains, so we need at least half of army to be 6 divisions, 10 divisions, whatever, 14 divisions to be mountaineers, at my opinion. And in this kind of terrain, I wouldn't suggest you to carry any kind of tanks, maybe some motorized units, but tanks are not for here. Tanks are for plains, for deserts, for anything where and don't use tanks, especially heavy, never on the mountains. Now basically this is it. I hope these guys will help you and launch you further into the game. So remember, supplies, less loss of gear, and make your divisions at the start small and effective. When you are 38, 40 here, you can make let's say not cost effective divisions. It doesn't matter to be cost effective, so I don't need to produce million of these guys. I need to produce fewer but much quality. Then you will have a lot of factories here which will produce a lot of guns, artillery and whatever, and you can add fewer guns, more guns to the you can expand your tank divisions and so on. But for start, keep it simple. And this is all you need to know for you to break game on not every difficulty, but majority of difficulties. This game is not hard. This game is very easy once you get grasp of few basic mechanics of it. And there are only, as I said, supplies, lots of gear, handling of manpower, and knowing what to make, how to make effective divisions. So small and simple divisions are effective at the start. Everyone else will have trash divisions like yourself. Later you can add more 20 division armored cars, you can add the flame tanks, anti-air goes for every division, in my opinion. Every division, even this basic division, next upgrade after engineers is for anti-air. Also engineers are, in my opinion, overrated, so highly overrated. I use them only on defensive units. Don't put them on tanks, don't put them on motorized units, don't put them on anything and except your basic defense unit. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. So like, share, subscribe. See you all soon and have fun.